Well, I just, you did bring up Ruiz. Who would have thought here we are, he's heavyweight champion, and now he's fighting Joshua in Saudi Arabia. The craziness continues.
Yes, it does.
Oh, did you see the presser today, by any chance, Kevin?
No, I didn't. No, I never saw. I've been in the gym since very early this morning. We've got a very big team of guys training here at the moment. My gym is buzzing. And it's a busy time, so I never saw it.
You're too busy building towards your own heavyweight world title fights that you'll be actually involved in to look at others, so, right? But
yeah.
Just a lot of talk about. You got a lot of armchair psychology going on. People think
Of
Joshua's
course.
broken.
Yes.
So a lot of people think he's.
You'd have to be a fool to think he's broken. When you look at the first fight, sure, was he a little bit out of sorts? Yes. Did he take the fight against Andy Ruiz for granted? Yes. Was he mentally as hard as he had been in other fights? No. Mm-hmm. Okay, he knows there had to be changes. He knows that he needed to be better prepared than he was. And we found a guy in Andy Ruiz who was very hungry, was very, very mean on the day, was a guy who was proud, a guy who had a point to prove. And even when Joshua knocked Andy down, he came up and he was very dangerous, and he came up more determined and angrier than ever. And by letting his hands go, he increased his chances of being successful, and he caught him, and the rest was history. Joshua spent another 2 or 3 rounds, but never recovered from the first knockdown. So, it's fair to say Joshua needs to reinvent himself. He needs to have a better game plan coming into this fight. He needs to control things from the outside. He is so much bigger than Andy. He's got so much more reach and height. All that needs to be on display. And we know he has power, but he needs his power to be coming from the outside, not stepping into Andy's firing zone.
That's what I'm getting at. Is there because enough of me and others making this and that about the mental stuff, but just in the ring, fighting, is it possible? Because like you said, he needs to use his height more, but it seems like Joshua's always, his best shots have always been left hook, uppercut. So is it possible that he's just ran into a bad style?
That's why I said I think he needs to reinvent his style. He needs to be more disciplined.
Can he do that?
Well, I think he has to. He's had time. The photos I've seen, he looks to be in really, really good shape. I'm pleased he stayed with Robert McCracken. McCracken was the man who molded him right throughout his career, who knows more about him than anyone else. Sure, people always use the old saying, change is good, and some change is good. But when you have people who actually understand you physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, they're the guys that you always want to have around you.